Okay, so today we're gonna talk about a fight that I heard about a month or so ago, but I guess it's finally coming to fruition. That is Victor Ortiz stepping up to welterweight, quote unquote, and is facing Andre Berto, the WBC welterweight champion, undefeated still. And this is a fight that some people have mixed feelings towards. I think mainly more so for the reason that it's a catchweight fight. Now, I don't even know the actual catchweight of the fight. Y'all can let me know. But this is, to me, it's an interesting fight, man. I think you got two guys here who have speed and have pretty good power. I don't think they're they're killers, so to speak. But I mean, I think they're not the type of guys you want to just sit in front of. Andre Berto's gotten to this point now in his career where he's. It's almost like we're waiting for when the moment's gonna happen. I mean, we're seeing guys like he doesn't have names under his belt, man. I mean, he doesn't have a marquee name. And to me, I'm still waiting to see the coming out party of Andre Berto. It's not happened. He had a fucking grueling fight with Luis Collazo, who took him to the limit, and to Collazo's, had he fought like the 11th and 12th round, he would have won that fight, man, even based on the scorecards. But again, we're trotting back a little too much. That's pretty much where he's at right now. I mean, I think Berto's really talented. I think he's really quick. But I think with him, when you put him in there with a guy who's going to strike back and is going to be a little craftier than what you're used to, in this case I'll bring up Collazo, he tends to freeze up. He kind of almost hesitates, and he's not quick to the punch as he is when he sees that he has an advantage. It's like there's no adjustments that are really noticeable to where he could completely turn a fight around in his favor again. And in the Collazo fight, I just think he outworked Collazo in the end, but I don't think it was a thing of skill. And now he's got a guy, Victor Ortiz, who's also showing vulnerability, who's also been, rocked. Berto's been rocked too. And difference between the two, I would say, is that Berto didn't fold under the pressure as where Ortiz did. Now, has Ortiz looked a lot better as far as his confidence is concerned in his last previous fights? Yeah, of course. But they haven't exactly been putting him in there with killers either. So, again, this is why I say this is an interesting fight, because I think it's going to be telling for both guys where their stock is going to be from here on out, or at least until their next fight. And I think at this point now, both Berto and Victor Ortiz need to fight names. They can't be fighting the third contenders or the number 4 contenders. They need to fight guys that are names, man. And especially for Berto, who's constantly on Twitter and he knows all these dudes. It's like, and HBO's paying him all this money. Yo, man, get in there and fight some real dudes. And again, like, I'm not behind the scenes as far as what, the negotiation situation is with the Berto fight, but, I don't think there's any reason why, like, he can't get a fight with these top guys, man, because, to me, Berto is very good, but he's also very vulnerable, too. So I don't think it's a thing of fear, but I don't know, man. He's just, again, he's not he's not as recognizable as I thought he would be at this point of his career. At least when I was seeing him like a few years ago. So this is really Victor Ortiz's shot to make a name for himself. Because I think the way it is now, I think Berto beating Ortiz is still a good win. But I think Victor Ortiz beating Andre Berto really puts Victor Ortiz on the map. I think so. And especially coming from the loss that he had to beating a guy like Berto, hell yeah, it's a come up. Hell yeah. And he would be, I'm assuming, the welterweight champion, right? The WBC champ. Kind of gets interesting, you know? So, who do I think is going to win this fight? It's a fight that I think whoever the better man is that night is going to win. Because, again, I talk about vulnerabilities. I don't think Andre Berto has the type of style that is going to make Victor Ortiz run. I think Berto, he likes to counter too. He loves that uppercut. And that's his money shot. And I think he's going to want to be able to time Ortiz to get in that position. So I think Ortiz is not going to have to worry about him getting chased down. So it makes it pretty interesting. I think this fight's going to come down to speed. And it's going to come down to volume. And I believe Berto can get in a rhythm where he could start throwing a good amount of punches. So, I think Andre Berto is fast. I think he's faster than Victor Ortiz. And we haven't seen Victor Ortiz get hit like that in a while. And now he's going to get hit by a welterweight. A legit welterweight. Though I think Victor Ortiz is walking around a junior middleweight, to be honest. So, I'm going to go with Andre Berto with this fight. I think it's going to be a better fight than people think. And I think it's going to be somewhat of a chess match of speed. You know, who's the quicker of the two. But I think Berto's speed, and I think his combination style is going to give Victor Ortiz problems. And I think when Victor Ortiz starts to get hit, I think he's going to get a little reluctant to throw off his shots. Especially if he's throwing that right and Berto sneaks back and throws that uppercut. Because he's really good at timing it with that. So I got Berto by a decision. I think it'll be a good fight. And I think at this point, then Berto needs to fight. Just call everybody out and really make the fights happen, man. Fuck the calling out shit, actually. Get your team to get the fights popping, man. Fight the real dudes. And I'm not even like hating on Berto, man. It's just, you know, I want to see how good he really is. You know, and I don't think we've seen that yet. And I think we could see some of it in a fight with Ortiz, but I think he gets past him, he needs to fight the upper echelon, man. I think a fight with Manny Pacquiao is, you know, just give him the fight, man. Fuck it. Even though I don't think that fight's going to happen. So, let me know what you think. I got Berto by decision. And wouldn't be surprised with a knockout, but I'm going to go with this decision. And let me know what you think. And like I always say, subscribe, hit up the links.
Swear to God, it's like the hood is gangsta, tell me how you do it. Your boy's so hood and I ain't never had to prove it. It's just me and the swag that I move with. Never so crack, now that is a movement. My mom says stay away from the streets, but I'm from Flatbush, ma. This the belly of the beast where the wolves on the hunt like they never gon' eat.